Kill me! I'm here! Kill me!
Hey everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of Bad Santa 2, the 2016 comedy sequel starring Billy Bob Thornton and a bunch of other celebrities. You got people like Christina Hendricks, Kathy Bates, Tony Cox, and Octavia Spencer plays a very small role in the movie. And, I watched this movie and I was not a big fan. But before I explain why, I do want to say this. I did not love Bad Santa 1. So I do feel like if you're out there and you were a huge fan of Bad Santa, I feel like this movie might work for you better than it worked for me. I mean, it may or may not. I know that this movie didn't have anywhere near the same kind of positive reaction the first movie had, but I think that part of that has to do with the fact that it could never, shock as much as the first movie did, because I don't ever recall a movie taking a character like Santa Claus and turning him into anything like this series that has. So that may also play a part into the fact that this movie hasn't gotten a huge positive critical response. But yeah, I mean, for me, these movies just aren't the best. I mean, I liked the first one. I thought it was okay, good even, but I didn't love it by a stretch of imagination. There's just something to me that I've never been that big of a fan of shock humor. I mean, I do think that it can work really well. There are definitely instances where something like took me completely off guard and just made me laugh really hard because of it. Like there's several scenes in Rick and Morty that immediately come to mind when saying that. But when the shock humor is just like, we're gonna swear as much as possible, or we're gonna be as rude as possible, and that in and of itself is gonna make it funny. That stuff just has never worked for me personally. I've never been a fan of like a lot of the like fart humor or anything like that. Just none of it. It just doesn't work for me. And this movie is a lot of that. Now, I will say this, that one of the things I did quite enjoy about this movie actually is the little boy that was in the first movie. That character is back, and the way that it is portrayed, I thought was really, really entertaining. It's definitely a good continuation of the way they portrayed him in the first place, as being like, kind of a ignorant and innocent, and the guy's a full-grown adult at this point, or at least, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he definitely looks like he's a full-grown adult. And at the same time, he is played like he hasn't aged a day and is just to be blunt, a dummy, and completely unaware of anything that goes on around him. He still thinks that Billy Bob Thornton's character is, at his heart, just a really good guy, which, anybody who's seen this series at all will realize that's not the case at all. And I thought his inclusion and the way that he was written, I thought was really funny. And every time he would come up, I quite enjoyed that. Kathy Bates, like I mentioned before, is in this movie. She plays Billy Bob Thornton's mom. I thought she was awful, and it's sucks to say that because I'm actually a really big fan of hers. I think she's one of the most talented actresses in the world, and I really think it's a shame that she hasn't done that much lately. I know she's been the last couple seasons of American Horror Story, and I'm happy to see her doing that. But at the same time, an actress of her caliber, I think should be getting a lot much more meaty roles. So I was interested to see this movie partially because she was in it, but I did not care for her character whatsoever. I thought it was more of like what I was talking about earlier, that like, oh look, we're getting an Academy Award winning actress to do all these shocking things. That's funny, right? Just because it's shocking, right? And I just didn't work for me. And it took away from the movie, honestly. I still find that the interactions between Tony Cox, the little person in this movie, and Billy Bob Thornton were really entertaining. They have a very good repartee that is very entertaining to see, and like there's the way that they interact is very entertaining. Christina Hendricks is an actress I have enjoyed a lot in things. Like I thought she was really good as Joan in Mad Men. I really enjoyed her cameo in, or not even cameo, but her role in Firefly. In this movie, I thought she was awful. Her character to me didn't work whatsoever because they wrote her in her character. For those who don't know this movie, the plot of this movie, basically, it's a guy goes and plays Santa Claus and uses that the costume to basically get into areas to be able to figure out how to rob them. And in this movie, he goes to a different area, and Christina Hendricks is basically running a charity that uses the Santas to go out, and very similar to like what the Salvation Army does. And you know, she first comes off as this kind of like not even prissy, but like this not even, kind of holier than thou in a way. And then as the movie progresses, you see that there's a dark underbelly to her, and that she's fought these demons and that kind of thing. And that is, as a story arc, can work, but the problem for me is that there's no nuance to her performance. Like she acts the same at the end as she does at the beginning, and like it's not like, basically as the movie goes on, he's bad influence on her, and he brings out the demons in her more and more and more. And that's all well and good. That could have been very entertaining, but you don't ever see her really break out of her shell, other than the fact that you see her have sex with him on multiple occasions and give in to his charms. And the other problem too is I never felt any chemistry between the two of them, other than the fact that and there's a scene where he compliments her breasts, that the size of them, which the chemistry between the two of them, to me, is severely lacking, and I kind of get the feeling like Christina Hendricks didn't feel like, when I was watching the movie, I kind of got the feeling like she felt like this story was beneath her. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but that came across to me, and it took away from her performance. So yeah, overall, I wasn't a big fan of this movie. Like, if I was gonna give it like a score out of 10, I would say maybe like a 4 or 5. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it all that much. So those are my thoughts on Bad Santa 2. Let me know if you're a fan. I do know there are lots of people who did seem to like this movie as far as like fans go. So if you're one of those people, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you enjoyed about it. Let me know what you thought of my thoughts. Like, did you think Christina Hendricks gave a good performance, and that her chemistry with Billy Bob Thornton was good? I'd be interested to hear what people think of her role, and Kathy Bates' role especially. Other than that, please hit that like button. It does awesome things for my channel. It gets it in front of people that wouldn't see it otherwise. And please hit subscribe. I love talking to you guys about movies, and the more people that subscribe, the more people who potentially could check out my videos. And if you haven't yet, hit that notification bell. I would absolutely love it if you guys were able to find out whenever I uploaded a video. Other than that, have a nice day.